Are you interested in having a house plant, but not sure what to pick out or how to care for it? Today, I'm going to give you a great idea for something that you can keep in your house and grow and love. Keep watching. Hi, I'm Audra, and this is my Magnolia Street garden. And today, I'm excited to announce a collaboration with the Schmieding Center for Senior Health and Education in Springdale. I'm really glad you're here. I hope you'll come on over to my YouTube channel and subscribe for more great videos just like this. Today we're going to talk about succulents, or cactus as some people call them. I'm going to show you some different varieties. I'm going to tell you how to pick one out at the store, how to care for it, pot it, water it, fertilize it, so it'll look great in your home. When you're at the store picking out a succulent, you want to pick out something that's healthy and green. You want to avoid things that have moldy soil or shriveled leaves or leaves that are falling off. So I'm going to show you an example of that. This little guy right here is super cute, but you can see on the side here, he's got some shriveled leaves, and that means it's either been over or underwatered, probably overwatered. So that's something you want to avoid. Now this isn't too bad, but if it has a lot of leaves like that, you probably want to put this one back and pick another one. Another thing to look for is to make sure that the leaves aren't falling off. On this one, it has a bunch of little petal-like leaves, and what I like to do is give it a little shake, and if when you shake it, none of the leaves fall off, then that's probably a healthy plant. Same way with this one. It has all of these little spiky leaf petal things here, and I like to give it a shake, and if none of them fall off, then you're good to go. Another thing you want to look for is if the soil has any mold or anything in it. If it does, that means it's probably been overwatered, which is a big no-no with succulents and cactus. So you always want to look for a soil that doesn't look like it's mildewy or moldy at all, and then you know you have a healthy succulent. So first I'm going to tell you about some different kinds of succulents that I have here today. This one is called a dwarf jade plant. Sometimes it's also known as an elephant bush. This is native to South Africa, and this is known for being able to store water for a long period of time. So if you travel, or if you're one who forgets to water your plants, then this is a great succulent for you. The next kind I have to show you is very popular. You can find these everywhere. These are all Echeveria, and there are tons of different varieties of Echeveria. In fact, I don't even know the actual name of these three varieties, but they all have this similar shape with the leaves kind of splaying out from a central point. These are native to Central America and Mexico and Northwest South America, and they also require very little watering. Lastly, I have 4 different kinds of cactuses to show you. This first one I have here is called a bunny ear cactus, and I think you can kind of tell why that one has that nickname. This one actually flowers, and it's a native to Mexico. This guy right here, I actually don't know what his name is, but look at how strange and weird it is. It kind of has a bunching effect there as it grows and kind of comes out from the middle. This one is called an Echinopsis, and there's a lot of different types of Echinopsis, and this is related to the prickly pear family. And then lastly, this one's a big word, it's called an Ostrocylindropuntia subulata, which is also known as an Eve's pin or a Christmas tree cactus, and this is actually native to the Peruvian Andes. One of the most common problems for caring for succulents is either over or under watering, and it's usually overwatering. People love to water their plants at home, and succulents and cactus just really don't need that much. One way to combat that problem is to get the correct soil. Succulents and cactus like to have a well-draining soil. They don't like to have wet feet. In fact, they'll rot really easily if they have too much water. So today I'm going to be using a cactus, palm, and citrus potting mix, and you can see here that it says it's a fast-draining formula. So when you're picking out a soil for your succulents and cactuses, make sure you get something that's a moisture control, that's fast-draining, so that the water doesn't sit in the bottom of your pot. Next, we're going to pot up one of these succulents. I'm going to put on my gloves so that I don't get dirt under my nails. going to take some of this potting mix and put it in this terracotta pot I have. Now it doesn't really matter what kind of pot you use, but a terracotta is an easy pot to get. They sell them at most home improvement stores. The gloves also really help when you're potting up cactuses that have a lot of prickles on them. So one way that I get my plants into the pot easily is I kind of make a little impression in the middle, and I stick the whole pot down in there to kind of make an indentation of where that root ball is going to go. And now I have a perfect little spot, and then very carefully I'm going to kind of squeeze and shake him out, maybe. There we go. And you can see how the roots are all nice and not too overgrown, so that looks pretty good. And now in that indentation, that will just slide right in there. Now I'm going to just take a little more dirt and just fill it in right around the top edge there. Just pat that down gently. And there you have it. First pot your plant, you want to water it in, which is a term for the initial watering. You don't want to overdo it because, once again, we remember cactuses don't like wet feet. So just moisten the soil well, and that's probably all it will need for a week or two. Lastly, to make sure that your succulents do well inside your house, you want to fertilize them. When they're young and little like this, you can probably get away with fertilizing them just once a year. But as they get bigger, or especially if they've bloomed, they're going to require more food. So you're going to fertilize them up to 3 times a year. And I'm going to be using this Miracle-Gro succulent plant food, which you can get at your local home improvement store. And this is just 1 pump directly toward the soil. So I'm just going to drip 1 pump around the soil there, and that's it. And I usually like to apply that when the soil is moist. That way the fertilizer can have a better chance to soak down through the soil. Now that I have this one done, I'm going to go ahead and pot up the rest of them. Once you get your succulents all potted up, they look amazing, and you can now put them in a windowsill or a sunny spot in your room. You definitely want them to have sun in your house. And remember, don't overwater them. You want them to dry out completely, even plus a few days before you water them again, because they don't like to be overwatered. Remember, they're used to living in a desert where it rains not very often. So make sure you put them in the sun and don't overwater them. I hope this video inspires you to put some plants in your house. I would love to hear your comments on what kind of plants you have in your house, or if you have any interesting types of succulents, I'd love to see a picture. Be sure to come back in a few weeks for another video in collaboration with the Schmieding Center for Senior Health and Education in Springdale. Thanks for watching.